What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the latest EX banner to be added into the King of Fighters All-Star, of course that being the EX Volume 6 banners, and we're going to go ahead and just give our first impressions after these things have literally just dropped in the past hour. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe, and let's just go ahead and talk about EX Volume 6. So of course EX Volume 6 is going to be featuring, as you guys can see, Athena 15 and then Lady Chin. We are also going to have a very busted card banner we're going to need to talk about here, but we're going to start off with the characters. And I want to start off with Athena here because I do feel like out of both of these characters, while both of them seem very good, like always, this is going to be the standout character here, right? So this is going to be a yellow balance type. She is also going to have a leadership ability that increases our EX fighters' attack by 50% and their critical damage by 35%. This is another really strong EX leadership ability to add into a pool of already very good leadership abilities for EX fighters. So this is another really strong leader for your EX fighters, but let's take a look at her cores, right? She's going to have a 30% power charge rate increase, which you'll love to see. And she's also going to feature increases to critical rate and critical damage like we've been seeing on a lot of these EX fighters recently. But if we take a look at the exclusive cores, of course, that's where it's always going to get more interesting. So let's see what Athena has. So Athena is going to be able to reflect stun, fear, and darkness, and also have a physical damage increase by 100% of critical damage rate against all enemies. This is a really strong increase right here. This physical damage increase by 100%. That is very nice. The reflection of stun, fear, and darkness is good to have too, particularly in things like PvP. Speaking of, she is going to have what I'm assuming is a PvP exclusive here because it mentions it here, but I think there's a text issue where this was supposed to be over here at the front, but she's going to cast a critical hit shield that absorbs damage for 7 seconds if her HP is 30% or above when attacked, and the shield is removed when attacked by 6 critical hits on a cooldown of 15 seconds. So basically your standard critical hit shield there. So really nice core here, not anything that is overly busted to the point where you're just sitting there going, what the hell did they do? However, this multiplier here is very nice. Now, the final one here is going to be I am Athena, here I go. This increases attack by 10%, penetration by 600 for 5 seconds for each attack. This stacks up to 5, by the way. This is a really good core. This used to be a standard, like, busted core on some of the highest damage dealers in the game back in the day, this multiplier for your penetration that's stacked. However, recently it has not really been around as much. But this is something that harkens back to kind of the old meta when it comes to these core effects, and this is actually going to be really good for her. This character is going to do a lot of damage, and she's also going to gain damage immunity for 4 seconds when her HP is 20% or below on a cooldown of 10 seconds. So overall, this character getting that damage immunity for 4 seconds when her HP is 20% or below, I don't think I also need to explain how good that is also. So in general, these cores are really good. This character, however, when we get to the skills, has a lot going on. So we're just going to keep going here. So next up here, let's talk about the S1. Now, this character you're going to notice is going to have a ton of derived skills, right? Which is going to be interesting to see how she does on things like her awakening spam. I'm not really sure how that's going to go with all of these derived skills. They can at times feel clunky on characters when you are trying to use your awakening rotation, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds on that because chances are this character is just going to be stupid. But Psycho Ball Attack EX is going to use to increase attack by 60% for 10 seconds, and you use it to enter a Fury state for 7 seconds, which deals physical damage equal to 200% of attack to the target every time a skill lands, on a cooldown of 7 seconds, and then it goes into Psychic Dress Up. Now, Psychic Dress Up increases critical rate by 40% and critical damage by 90% for 15 seconds upon use. Only the most recently activated effect of Psychic Dress Up is maintained, so you're going to see this throughout the kit, right? So overall, the S1 already doing a ton. This character, like I said, is going to be doing a lot of damage, but let's just continue to go through here and we'll talk more about it. Now on the S2, she is going to increase attack by 40% with critical damage rate by 20% for 10 seconds on use. That's another really nice effect. She increases the target's damage received by 60% for 8 seconds upon landing a skill, and then upon landing, a target becomes dazed for 3 seconds, which decreases damage dealt by 70% and defense by 80% on a cooldown of 10 seconds, and then deals chill and shock damage equal to 50% of attack to all enemies every 1 second for 12 seconds. Man, this character has a lot going on, right? So this character has daze, right? And this is something that is new. This is another new CC effect, basically. This character has so many weapons. And again, guys, I really do think if you're an Athena fan, you're going to be nothing but happy with this character. Now, finally, this does go into another psychic dress-up. This increases attack of all allies and self by 100% for 15 seconds, and has a penetration increase by 5,000 upon use. And again, only the most recent one is maintained. Now, again, guys, this character very strong on damage, but also is going to be a very good support, right? So I think that this character is going to be kind of Jill of all trades type character when it comes to some of the ways that you would use her, specifically as a team member or just as a solo character. But again, my biggest question mark is going to be that awakening rotation as far as her solos. But this character, regardless, is very, very stupid. So on the S3, she has Psycho Sword EX. This can be used when attacked, so it's limited to standing or airborne, so there's our interrupt. We are also going to have Hyper Armor here, so there's our Hyper Armor, with a PvP exclusive of a 70% chance to remove the target's Hyper Armor or Shield upon landing a hit, and then it goes into Psychic Dress Up. This one is going to decrease the damage taken by allies and self by 95% for 8 seconds on use. So again, guys, another really good support skill. This character, so many different tricks, but she still has more. If we get into her core finisher, she is going to have an 80% chance to reset the active skill cooldowns when using a skill. 80% chance is basically, I mean, you might as well consider it a 100% chance most of the time, so that's really good. And so then we get, of course, into her card, which we'll talk about also, because that'll have an effect. But really, guys, this character, I think, is going to be very, 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 very good. I think this is going to be one of the best characters in the game, and another top meta character. She is also going to have Thrill here when it comes to her EX skills. This one is going to reset the tag cooldowns and increase the critical rate of all team members by 12% and critical damage by 35% for 15 seconds. And then she also has Release, which resets tag cooldowns and increases blast skill damage of all team members by 50% for 15 seconds. So overall, this character can kind of do both of the, kind of fulfill both roles of being a support and a damage dealer. And overall, I'm very, very excited for people to get their hands on her that are fans of her, because I like to see fans of these characters be pleased by what they get. And I think that fans of Athena are going to be very pleased by what they get here. And she's adorable, so you've got that. But speaking of adorable, let's talk about Lady Chin, right? Lady Chin is going to have a leadership ability that increases red element fighters' attack by 30% and their critical damage by 90%, right? If we take a look at the cores, 30% power charge rate increase, increases to critical rate and critical damage like we normally see on these characters. And then we are going to go ahead and get into the core finishers here that are going to be her exclusive finishers. What am I talking about? Her exclusive core finishers. I'm still thinking of finishers. She is immune to burn, poison, bleed, shock, chill, darkness, and fear. So she's immune to a lot of crap, and she also has a 50% chance to affect all enemies with fear for 0.5 seconds upon landing an attack, and has a 60% chance to decrease skill cooldown of a skill that I'm not going to try to pronounce by 100% for 3 seconds upon landing an attack, guard included, on a cooldown of 20 seconds. Alright, so she's immune to a lot of stuff here. You guys see that right there, which is very important for her, I'm sure, in things like PvP. That 50% chance to affect all enemies with fear for 0.5 seconds upon landing an attack is kind of busted because there's really no cooldown there, so that's kind of silly. And then she also has this 60% chance to decrease her skill cooldown on this skill by 100% for 3 seconds. So this character does have a lot going on there already, but it continues to get better. She also has Buttercream Mustache, which is adorable, by the way. And it's also funny that she has fear on her kit, and she can basically spam it when there's nothing to really fear about this character. I mean, look at that. What are you afraid of? Like, she's adorable. But anyway, let's go back to Buttercream Mustache. Increases physical damage by 100% of critical damage rate for 7 seconds upon landing an active skill on a cooldown of 7 seconds. So, again, more physical damage on these characters. Is it the new meta? I think so. You gain damage immunity for 4 seconds when your HP is 20% or below on a cooldown of 10 seconds. And then, of course, you have that critical hit shield with that PvP exclusive where your HP is 70% or above when attacked. The shield is removed when attacked by 6 critical hits. I think that this is still kind of messed up. I don't know though. Usually, typically speaking, they'll have this PvP exclusive over here at the front. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this. I think it might just be text errors, and it makes it a little hard to read, Nut Marble. Good lord. So anyway, that's going to be the cores. This character, pretty basic stuff for an EX fighter, but when it comes to these EX fighters, they're all pretty broken at the end of the day nowadays, so it is what it is. Now, when we take a look at the skills, this character's a little bit more straightforward, right? She isn't going to have a bunch of drive skills or anything, so we're just going to jump into the S1. This is going to increase our attack by 70% for 10 seconds. It's a nice multiplier right there. You use it to enter a Fury state, yay, for 7 seconds, where you're dealing physical damage equal to 200% of attack to the target every time a skill lands on a cooldown of 7 seconds. You're increasing the target's damage received by 60% for 8 seconds upon landing a skill, and increases critical rate by 30% for 6 seconds upon use. Next up here, we are going to have the S2. This can be used when attacked, and it's limited to standing or airborne. It is going to deal physical damage equal to 300% of attack upon landing a skill, and upon landing increases burn damage received by 50% for 6 seconds when attacked on a max stack of 3, and has a PvP exclusive with a 70% chance to remove the target's hyper armor or shield upon landing a hit. So again, guys, this character going to be doing a ton of damage. Pretty much anymore, just expect that the new damage thresholds are pretty much what we've been seeing lately, and the new meta is basically going to start and stop there, and that these characters are all going to be pretty darn busted going forward, at least by comparison to what we've been seeing. It seems to be the new norm, and that's what I'm expecting out of both of these characters. It's pretty much right in line with what we've been seeing recently with some of the best EX characters in the game. Now finally on the S3 here, this is going to be used, can be used when attacked, and it is going to be limited to standing and airborne. So if you guys notice, she is going to have 2 ways of interrupting here. This is also going to increase attack by 70%, critical damage rate by 90% for 10 seconds on use. Upon landing it, she's also going to give the target daze for 6 seconds, so she's also going to have that new CC that decreases damage dealt by 70% and defense by 80% on a cooldown of 10 seconds, and she has hyper armor here for 4 seconds on her S3 with the interrupt. Standard stuff, but let's finish up here with the core finisher. This is going to apply Infernal Flame to the target for 6 seconds upon a successful attack, and so this is going to be where you're going to get your dot, and then she increases her attack by 20% and critical rate by 9% for 10 seconds upon use. This character has a lot of tools in her toolbox. Very interesting kit. She also has an effect on that finisher for her 3PG that we'll talk about when we get to the cards, but she's also going to feature Weaken and Concentrate. I don't think I need to explain how good Weaken is, or Concentrate is, but overall, guys, this is going to be a very strong character if you pull for her, or if you just so happen to pull her while you're going for Athena. Either way, both of these characters look phenomenal to me. However, I do think that Athena, as long as her awakening spam is good when it comes to that rotation, as far as having all those derived skills, I think she's probably going to be something kind of crazy. But either way, both of these characters, in my opinion, could end up being at the top of the meta along with the best in the game. Time will tell, however. We'll just have to wait and see. But that Athena looks very good. Very busted. So let's talk about cards, speaking of busted. I want to start out with the finishers, and then we'll talk about what's really busted here. So first up here, since we've already talked about the characters, we'll just finish up. We have the 3PG finisher for Athena that increases our critical damage by 30% for 10 seconds when using Psycho Remix. So this is going to be another increase to our critical damage. You'll love to see it. And of course, you can pick up all 3 effects. So that's going to be what she has there for Athena. And then for Lady Chin, she is going to be able to reset her finisher cooldown when using this. So this is going to be very nice for you to be able to potentially just jump right into your next finisher. So both of these have very nice effects on them. Just little bonuses like always, but they're pretty darn good. However, the real MVPs here are going to be the cards, specifically this. This set is kind of bonkers. So first up, let's talk about each card's effect, and then we'll talk about the actual overall effect where it just gets stupid. So on the first card here, you're going to increase your Extreme Fighter's critical rate by 7%, On the second card, you are going to increase your yellow and red element fighters combat power by 30,000. And then finally, on the third card, you have a 30% chance to charge all 5 of your power slots on a cooldown of 45 seconds. So standard stuff there. We've started to move into just buffing up specific color elements. CP is only important for specific modes. It's mostly going to be about the effects, and the effect here is ridiculous. You're increasing your critical damage by 5% every time an extreme fighter lands a critical hit on a max of 20 stacks. Okay then, sure, why not? At a maximum stack, increases critical rate by 10%. So you're not only are you getting all those stacks for all that critical damage, but you're also getting a 10% increase to your critical rate. But then you're also increasing extreme fighters attack by 22% per every 1 power. I mean, sure. So this is going to be one of the best card sets in the game. I'm not even worried about that CP requirement for this effect here of being a yellow or red element, really, honestly, unless it's a specific mode. However, if the fighter you want to put it on is red or yellow, like the new fighters, then you're going to be very happy with that. However, this effect, this is very good. This is a very strong set, and it continues a lineage of very strong EX sets recently, where it seems like these sets have just been ramping up the power creep along with the characters, which just makes these banners just that much more expensive, right? So that's pretty much what I'm seeing there. Really, really good stuff. I like this card set a lot. I'm going to be investing my free rubies into this banner for the cards, and I'm going to hope for the best. I'm not going to be going for the fighters like I've mentioned before, but for the cards, I'm definitely going to be going for this card set as well as this option card. So we're going to finish up the cards with the option. This increases attack by 5% and decreases skill cooldowns by 1.2 seconds, and increases critical damage by 25% for 7 seconds when an extreme fighter lands an active skill on a cooldown of 12 seconds. Another one of these option cards that helps when it comes to your crit, another skill cooldown decrease. This is a very good option card, another one that I would love to be able to get. So overall, guys, these cards are money. This card set is stupid. I'm very curious to see how, even again, on a non-red or yellow fighter, how much damage this can do for certain fighters, because I do think that this effect right here is very strong. So I'm very, very happy with the card set. Overall, should you summon on EX Volume 6? In my opinion, if you're a fan of either of these characters, if you're a super fan of Athena, yes, you summon on this, full stop. I think that this is one of those situations where if you're a fan of the characters, of course you summon. Both characters are very strong. Both are looking like they are going to be very, very good in the meta. Specifically Athena, I wonder how good she'll be. I wonder how much higher she can climb, because this character does seem like she could end up cracking that top like 2-3 characters in the game. I'm just curious how she's going to work out in application with all those drive skills, but we'll have to wait and see. I do think though she's going to be set no matter what, because she's also a very good support. And then of course Lady Chin right there with her, super strong character, more straightforward, and I think that you're going to be very happy with either of them. However, the real get here to me is going to be the cards. I think that this card set and this option card, specifically the set, very good. So I think if you're wondering where to invest your rubies right now, I think instead of, if you're just wanting to use your free rubies, instead of just hoping you get one copy of a fighter, maybe just go for cards. I think that that is the way you should go, because it's much easier and much cheaper to get to a pity here if you're on a budget than it is here, and you're more so going to be able to get probably a little bit better luck here than you would over here. It just comes down to your luck at the end of the day. But with that being said, guys, we have tickets, right? So I didn't get very lucky when it comes to my tickets. In fact, I got like the opposite of lucky. I only got 9 a piece of these. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're just gonna go ahead and use these up and see if we get lucky on these. I'm gonna use the fighter ones, I'll use those second. I'll just go ahead and use these. So we'll just do this real quick, see what we get out of these, and I'll probably go ahead and use my free rubies as well, just to see what we get. I mean, I'm not going to be using this stuff on anything else anyway. So we'll just see what ends up happening here. We got red. Again, tickets are never, maybe something will turn. No, tickets are never very lucky for us, so it's okay. Either way. All right, so let's use the fighter ones, and we'll see what we get there. But overall, guys, I'm very happy with these banners. I think that they turned out very good. Both characters look very strong, like I mentioned. Cards are kind of ridiculous. And yeah, I think that if you're a fan of this stuff, that you definitely go for it. I think you also do need to keep in mind, however, that we are getting closer now, believe it or not. We are inching very close to some potential collab, probably in December. So I would definitely consider that if you're somebody that's free to play and you need to save. So speaking of saving, I'm just going to use my free rubies up here on the card banner. But overall, I think that is a consideration that needs to be made depending on how fast you can get rubies for your account. So just keep that in mind, and always keep in mind that these characters, while they are extremely strong, they are going to get power crept probably within the next couple of weeks. So I really wouldn't necessarily say that they're going to be anything that, you know, is going to be future-proof, because at this point in this game, future-proofing doesn't exist. So, I mean, it is what it is. But overall, I think that you'll probably be very happy with either of them if you end up with them. So good luck on your summons, guys. I hope you end up getting something you want. Like I said, I didn't expect anything off my tickets and got nothing, so it is what it is. But we've got 2,700 more of these free rubies, so I'm just going to use these up on the card banner. I'll end up having to probably go for this card set at some point, but I'm going to wait and see on that. I'm not going to just jump right into it right now. I'll just use these up and be done with it. It'd be really nice if something could turn, but you guys know me with card banners. I don't really have much luck on card banners at all. I don't really like going in on card banners at all. So it's one of those situations where I'm going to definitely be considering my options and weighing my options heavily before I end up doing anything too crazy here, but nothing ever turns for me. I get all the 5-star cards. How many we have left? 1,500. So we got 2 more, essentially. 2 more multis here, and we have gotten a grand total of absolutely nothing. So that's nice. But good luck to all you guys out there if you are summoning. Okay. It'd be nice if it was the option. I don't need the finishers, obviously. Hey, there you go. Perfect. I got the option. Well, hey, that works out. Okay, so now I just really need to worry about the set, if anything. So we'll just use 1 more multis worth of rubies here. That's all we got left anyway. But hey, we got the option card, so that's nice. Can't complain too much, right? Just click through that. That's kind of what I thought. Okay, so we ended up with the option card on the free rubies, so I can't complain too much. We'll take those. So anyway, you guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this banner. I do think that Athena and Chin both look very strong again. However, I do think Athena just looks very, very good. So you guys can let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe you've already gotten her. Again, these characters just dropped as of the making of this video in the past hour, so I'm not entirely sure where these two are going to fall overall. But I can tell you guys right now that they're both very good. So anyway, you guys, let me know in the comments section down below what you think of not only the fighters, but also the card banner. Do you think that new card set is as broken as it seems? Let me know in the comments section. Like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And until the next one, you all take care. Good luck on your summons. Peace.
Continue. Game over.